Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to Bubba Cunningham and take a look at his to-do list.
Also, the Occupy movement comes to Chapel Hill as it spreads across the nation and the world.
In sports, the football team was so bad, we're going to talk about the band.
The North Carolina State Fair has all things fried. I'm Lindsay Hawkins, and coming up, I'll show you the newest fried food.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
So we know who he is, finally, but what's he going to do? Good evening, I'm Kathleen Whitty.
And I'm Preston Jones. UNC has a new director of athletics tonight, and he may signal a dramatic change in sports here in Chapel Hill. Andy Reeves joins us live with the story. Andy, what can you tell us about the new AD?
Well, Preston, his name is Lawrence Cunningham, but you should call him Bubba. And no matter what you call him, one thing's for sure, new AD Bubba Cunningham has his hands full.
Therefore, I have asked Chancellor Thorpe to begin the search for an athletic director as soon as possible.
When Dick Bedore announced he was leaving in July, he left his successor in a tough spot. The football program had just lost its head coach and was in the midst of a year-long and unresolved NCAA investigation. Less than 3 months later, meet Bubba Cunningham, who is stepping in to clean up the mess that is Carolina football.
It does happen occasionally. It's unfortunate when it does, but you have to learn from those mistakes and make sure that we don't make those as we go forward.
One way to ensure that is by hiring the right head coach, which, despite his 5-2 record, probably won't be Everett Withers.
And so my charge in the next few months will be to analyze the program, make a decision of where we are, and then what's the best fit for us going forward to meet all the dreams and ambition.
But the football team can't be Cunningham's only focus. The athletics department has also requested an increase in student fees, and Bedore has said a lack of additional funding from these fees could lead to fewer scholarships and the elimination of some of UNC's 28 varsity sports.
It's a balancing act in almost everything that we do.
More like a circus act with all those considerations, but with 10 years' experience as a Division I AD, Chancellor Thorpe has great faith Cunningham can pull it off.
The search committee's charge was to find the best person in America for our job. Bubba Cunningham is that person.
Now, Preston, some fans have called for Thorpe to step down and are threatening to withhold support from the programs. Perhaps the most challenging part of Cunningham's new job will be mending those fences.
All right, Andy, thanks for that. Now, another thing Bubba is going to have to worry about is money. As we told you last week, the athletics department was asking for a $90 increase in the student athletics fee. After some pushback on that request, the athletics department cut that increase in half. A $45 hike would go to the Olympic sports. Athletic officials said the money for scholarships would be scrapped.
And then the committee charged with considering an increase called timeout, saying the athletics department misunderstood initial objections. The money, if granted at all, needs to go to scholarships, not Olympic sports. The whole thing is up in the air tonight. We'll keep you updated.
All the votes are in for the UNC's top 3 male candidates for Homecoming King, and we've got the results. Our own Carolina Week volunteer Clint Hanna, you see him there dancing, brought in the most votes, followed by Eric Campbell and Chris Lyle. Those 3 are in the running for the crown. The 3 candidates for Homecoming Queen are Camelia Jones, Tabitha Linville, and Holly Roberts. Now, no voting yet on the women since only 3 entered the race. Now, you can find the link to vote for your favorite candidate on our website, carolinaweek.org, and voting begins next Friday after fall break.
Well, they've been there since Saturday, and they say they aren't leaving anytime soon. Only a handful of the Occupy Chapel Hill members are still downtown today. Although few in number, the protest has come to Chapel Hill just as it has spread across the country and the world. Protesters have been occupying the front of the old post office on Franklin Street since Saturday. As Sydney Holt reports, it's clear they're angry, but it's not so clear what they want.
While most people headed to watch UNC play Miami on Saturday,
Is there a topic that you particularly want to have?
Chapel Hill resident Monica Recurgi stayed on Franklin Street to rally for change.
People are facing a lot of repression, a lot of state violence, a lot of economic hardships, all kinds of things, and we don't have a means of addressing them together, but we want to address them together.
A leaderless group of around 100 occupied the front of the old post office on Franklin Street. The group is made up of people of different ages, beliefs, and views, although all appear to be protesting against big business and income inequality. But not everyone is supporting the idea of occupying Chapel Hill.
They're professional protesters. I don't know why we legitimize this Wall Street movement. From Wall Street to Chapel Hill, there's one common thread that unites them, and it's that they're upset. Now, about what precisely?
That may be an open question, but the protests are spreading. New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Atlanta, just some of the places protesters are occupying. Recurgi thinks the lack of structure is a positive.
It's exciting to me that the Occupy movements don't have that, right? Because necessarily, if you and I get together and we make up, this is what we want to have happen, there's not room for everyone in that.
Recurgi says she and others will protest as long as it takes to see change. In Chapel Hill, I'm Sydney Holt, Carolina Week.
No arrests in the Chapel Hill protests, authorities are saying tonight, but that's not the case in Raleigh. Published reports indicate more than 20 people have been arrested so far for trespassing, including a man from Carrboro.
President Obama has not endorsed the Occupy movement, but he says he understands it and sympathizes with it. And it seems clear he'll need a lot of help from such groups if he's to be reelected. He'll need North Carolina, too.
The president's in the state tonight pushing his jobs bill. He started in Asheville, moved on to Wilkes County, ending up in Greensboro. Obama carried the state in 2008 by the narrowest of margins.
Parking continues to be a hassle in Chapel Hill, and there are complaints cars are being towed left and right. Now, the town council will hold a public hearing next month to discuss changes to the parking ordinance. And one major problem, drivers parking their cars in one lot, then wandering off to another business. The signs are everywhere, but people haven't been paying attention. Their cars get towed, and they're angry. There have been 20 complaints to the police department since April, all alleging predatory towing. We'll look more closely at the issue of towing in Chapel Hill in a report next Wednesday.
Some students think the university and the town are trying to take the fun out of Halloween. We'll have the story.
A healthy tomorrow begins with a solid foundation at home, and there are simple ways to start your kids on a path to success. Eat dinner together. Add veggies to each meal. Save treats for special occasions. And be sure to get up and play an hour each day. Help your kids make all of their dreams come true. Be our guest to healthy living today at letsmove.gov.
I'm home, and I love it. I'm home, where I belong.
It's always nice to come home, but many Americans are at risk of foreclosure and losing their homes. Making home affordable from the U.S. government has already helped over 1 million struggling homeowners like these. The sooner you act, the better chance we can help you.
I'm home, where I belong.
Let's turn over this log. Yeah. Whoa! I like the black ones. I like the brown wiggly ones.
I like the green crunchy ones myself.
Whoa.
Get out and explore nature. There's surprises everywhere. Go to discovertheforest.org.
Anyone up for dessert?
Fall break is this week, thank goodness, and by the time we get back, it won't be too long until Halloween.
The town of Chapel Hill and the university are working together to, as they like to say, keep people safe. Some people think it's overkill. Patrick Wright has the story.
Here in Granville Towers, freshmen are preparing for their first Halloween. But this year, a crackdown on out-of-town visitors, and students aren't sure they like it.
I guess I understand where they're coming from. They want to keep us all safe. At the same time, I want there to be some leeway for visitors to come.
To bring visitors to the celebration, Granville residents must now fill out a form and take a class.
We couldn't do this without the assistance of the university. You know, they're part of this whole management process and trying to help us keep control on this situation.
In 2007, 80,000 people flocked to Franklin Street for the Halloween celebration. After the town made changes last year, only 30,000 people showed up. Gunter says the goal isn't to keep people out of town, it's to protect you.
Our end goal at the end of the night is obviously to offer as much public safety as we possibly can.
And this is how the town plans to help with that. On the 31st, there will be virtually no parking downtown. Franklin Street will shut down at 9, and police will begin towing parked vehicles at 6 p.m. And this year, more than 300 officers from the county and surrounding cities will help with the effort. But officials still need your help.
You have to have the assistance of the people that are actually participating to meet that goal too.
In the end, the Halloween celebration is about having fun.
I'm just looking forward to it. I'm really excited for my first Halloween here.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Patrick Wright, Carolina Week.
And of course, alcohol will not be allowed on Franklin Street. Now, for more information on street closings, shuttle services, and parking, check out our website, carolinaweek.org. UNC police are investigating a rape on campus. All police will say is that it happened on Manning Drive Thursday, and there is no ongoing threat to anyone on campus. This is the 4th rape reported on campus this year.
We reported a few weeks ago that senior Will Thomason was ousted from the Christian a cappella group Psalm 100. Thomason says it was because he's a homosexual. The group says it was because his beliefs didn't align with theirs. All of this prompted an investigation on discrimination by the university. And now the decision is in, and the chancellor has decided that Psalm 100 did not violate the university non-discrimination policy. Will Thomason joins us in our satellite studio. Mr. Thomason, what do you think about this decision?
Yeah, I was a little surprised, to be honest. I had talked with university administrators as well as other students, and I was expecting that we could talk about ways in which we could improve this plan and see the flaws in it. But hopefully, kind of with their decision, can come some revisions and some recognition and knowledge that our non-discrimination policy does have, like I said, a lot of flaws in it, and hopefully within the next semester, if not sooner, we can really talk about that change.
Well, Vice Chancellor Winston Crisp says changes could be considered to this policy, and you mentioned that you'd like to see some. So what are those changes that you would like to see?
Yeah, I'd like it to be a lot more explicit as far as what groups can and cannot do, and I'd like groups' constitutions to be more explicit as well. I think it's great to have freedom of speech and freedom of association, but to tell group members at the very beginning of the time that they join the group exactly what the group believes and exactly what the group will continue to believe throughout their 3-4 years as members of that group is necessary and could help to make it a much clearer process and much more likely that this won't happen again.
Well, that's Will Thomason in the studio. Thanks for joining us, Will.
Thank you.
Cell phone signal strength on UNC's campus is getting a boost, and the upgrade will not cost you or the university one single penny. If you have Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you can expect better coverage on campus. Normal dead spots like elevators will receive more bars. Stronger service is the result of new antennas being placed on 13 buildings on campus by the cell phone companies. Keenan Stadium, Cobb Deck, and Greenwall Hall are a few of the antenna destinations. You can expect stronger signal by the end of the year.
And speaking of cell phone service, BlackBerry users have been experiencing some trouble. BlackBerry's data service crashed last week, making it the biggest network crash in history and an embarrassment for the company. Nearly 2 million users across the globe couldn't access the internet on their phone, including those important emails. Users could still make phone calls and send text messages, though, and some users are still experiencing problems. And while BlackBerry faced huge problems, iPhone users are experiencing innovative changes to software. Apple released its latest operating system, iOS 5, on Friday. New features include a reminders app with GPS technology, interruption-free notifications, and capabilities to wirelessly sync your phone with the media on your computer. Users can also use their phones hands-free with the new Siri technology. The operating system comes standard on the new iPhone 4S, which also hits stores Friday.
It has been more than 30 years since Professor Stuart Sechrist taught here at the School of Journalism and Mass Communication. And when he passed away last week at the age of 97, professors at the school were remembering him as the father of the photojournalism program and his sense of humor.
Stuart's legacy in our School of Journalism and Mass Communication comes from two different areas, photojournalism and editing. He taught both those subjects for many years, and he's the one who created photojournalism in the teaching in our school.
He was a lovable curmudgeon. That's easy. A proud dinosaur, he's been called by another colleague. He taught with this camera well after its heyday was come and gone.
All the funny stories about Stuart are stories I can't tell. He had a bit of a bawdiness to his humor sometimes.
He loved to work with the students and to work with them individually in the sense of improving their editing, improving their photojournalism. He loved to see the light bulb go on in their eye. Aha, I've got it. I understand what makes a good picture.
You know, Sechrist may be gone, but he is never going to be forgotten.
Well, it's going to be cooler, and Suzanne Wilson has the full fall break forecast coming up next.
I got no pulse, we're losing him.
Sergeant, he's in VFib.
Shock him.
Guys are real all the time. You just had a few drinks. This can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear.
You just buzzed.
Just buzzed. You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right, this isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shock him. Mom!
What?
You can't find Ichabod.
What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Good evening, I'm Carolina Week meteorologist Suzanne Wilson. So today was beautiful outside, and it's all due to the very little cloud cover we have out here. And we actually broke a record at RDU Airport. We hit a new high record of 85 degrees at the airport, beating the 84 set a couple of years ago. And it's all due to this high pressure system sitting in the southeast. It's giving us a southwesterly flow, which as the air around the high pressure system circulates, it sinks, it dries out, warms up. It allows us to have very few clouds in the sky, and also allows us to warm up very quickly like we did today to break that record. But tonight we're going to have mostly clear skies, and it's going to be a cool evening out there. We're definitely going to drop close to 30 degrees to hit that low temperature of 55, and that's a dramatic drop. Definitely cooling down compared to today, but mostly clear skies are going to keep us cool and allow us to get to that temperature. But as we go into tomorrow afternoon, that high pressure system is way off to the coast, which is still kind of giving us a southwesterly flow. But also these low pressure systems to our west and to our south are going to be moving into the area and giving us a chance of seeing some rain Tuesday evening and Wednesday. So this low pressure system in the Gulf Coast is going to come up the coast. As we look at tomorrow night, Tuesday night, that low pressure system sitting right over North Carolina, giving us a lot of rain associated with it in Tuesday night and into Wednesday. So definitely going to need that umbrella if you're going to be out and about Tuesday evening and into Wednesday afternoon. But tomorrow again is going to be unusually warm as that high pressure system continues to govern our weather. And we're going to have showers late in the day. So if you're planning on being out, maybe going to the state fair, definitely going to need that umbrella just in case, but mostly they're going to be later into the evening. But again, the State Fair is in town in Raleigh at the fairgrounds. Tuesday, mostly sunny, 82 for our high. Wednesday, going to have showers earlier in today and probably into the afternoon. Temperatures are dropping to the low 70s, right around 70 for Wednesday. Thursday, cooling down a bit, getting into fall temperatures around in the mid 60s for Thursday. But fall break is also this week, and as we can see, Thursday across the state, mostly sunny skies, temperatures in low 50s if you're going to the mountains, and the beach 67, but mid 50s and mid 60s for the rest of the state. And also for Friday, continuing to be great like that again, 15 with sunny skies across the state. But as we take a look at our 5-day forecast, Tuesday, 20% chance of rain later in the day. Wednesday, 50% chance on as we're looking at the Wednesday forecast, 72 for Wednesday, going to be great, but then we're going to be cooling down and have a great fall break forecast with some sunny skies, and it's going to be a good weekend to just travel across the state and go home.
All right, well, thank you so much for that, Suzanne. Well, the basketball team is making big moves and preparing for the big dance coming up next in sports.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblams, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you.
Bobby? Susie?
Don't worry, that's just the power of the arts!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
That's it.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Mom, can I have $1?
Yeah, it's right. I think my purse is upstairs on the bed.
It's not here.
Check the dining room.
No.
What about your sister's room?
It's not there either.
The upstairs closet? The downstairs closet?
There are no more closets.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Andy Reeves. The UNC football team got off to another slow start Saturday in a loss to Miami. The Heels put themselves in an early 14-0 hole after this kickoff return fumble. Watch the top of the pile as the ball just squirts out. The Canes would recover and score on the ensuing possession. Carolina was down 27-3 in the first half, but the Heels came back in the second half and had a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter until this sack effectively sealed the win for the Hurricanes. There you see new AD Bubba Cunningham. He's smiling there, but he certainly didn't go home happy as the Heels lost 30-24. Carolina will have to find a way to wake up for noon games. They have another one at number 7 Clemson on Saturday. More news out of football. The team announced today that linebacker Abella Okapu has been dismissed for conduct detrimental to the program. No word on exactly what he did. Okapu started 5 games this season, notching 14 tackles. The women's soccer team heads to overtime again, and for the third time this season, couldn't get the win. Even worse, the team couldn't even score. The story of the game was missed opportunities for the Tar Heels. The Wake keeper stopped shot after shot. That kept the crowd silent for most of the game. The Heels came close to scoring in the second half as Elizabeth Birchinall puts the ball in the net, but she was offside. Carolina will look to get back to its scoring ways when the Heels take on Boston College on the road this Saturday. Fans celebrated a new season with the #1 ranked men's basketball team during Late Night with Roy Friday night. Host Stuart Scott had the crowd pumped up as always and even got his very own Carolina jersey. Fellow alum Vince Carter stopped by as well, but Harrison Barnes was scoring in bunches, letting us know that the current Tar Heels plan on having a great season on their way to a possible national championship. And basketball fan President Obama says he'll attend the November 11th game against Michigan State on the aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson. And no word yet, but there's a good chance he'll be rooting for Carolina. And in between halves of the Miami game Saturday, the UNC band put on a show that probably provided more smiles to the fans than the game itself. Reporter Clint Hanna spent some time with the marching Tar Heels to see just what goes into making a halftime show.
Long before the UNC marching band takes the field, someone must create a show idea. For Saturday's halftime show, band director Jeffrey Fuchs' mind went to one place, the movie theater.
Yeah, we wanted to do something with images that people could see on the field. And so we started looking at iconic images from movies like the Superman shield, the boat from Pirates.
Fuchs actually draws his idea, and he uses his computer to animate the drawing. Assistant band director Matt McClure says he knew this show would be a hit.
You know, over a period of probably 30 years, we can pick movies that are going to be relevant, that the audience will know and understand, be able to easily understand the pictures we make. So that would be a really exciting thing.
The first few times the band practices the show, the instruments are on the ground. Once the steps are in step, the music starts to flow. Flutes, saxophones, and trombones all combine to make the first notes. Then, the team begins to practice what the show will actually look like. Senior drum major Brittany Papworth says the band has the same motto every week.
Every show is better than the last, so yeah, this show's gonna be pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited for it.
Papworth says she loved the way the show turned out. It might not have looked like much on paper, but it was quite a sight at Kenan Stadium. In Chapel Hill, I'm Clint Hanna, Carolina Week.
A lot of time and hard work. Thanks, Andy. Well, it's a celebration of all things fried and the latest concoction at the State Fair coming up next.
If you have a story idea, call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNC-CH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week and Carolina Connection online at carolinaweek.org.
Did you buy the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes.
The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster.
Last year, the North Carolina State Fair set a record of more than 1 million people attending. This year, the 144th State Fair just kicked off, and fair officials are expecting to break that record.
And as Lindsay Hawkins reports, one of the most popular features at the fair may do the trick, or maybe not.
At the North Carolina State Fair, you can enjoy the carnival rides. You can win stuffed animals by playing games.
Look at you go now. First one to the top's gonna win.
But let's be honest, everyone's favorite part is the food. Last year, I found the Krispy Kreme burger to be the craziest concoction. How could I beat that?
Cherry flavor! When you think of Kool-Aid, you think of something you drink, but this fried Kool-Aid is something you eat.
We take Kool-Aid and we mix it in with like a funnel cake batter, but it's a little bit different. And we drop it in like Hush Puppies, and we put like a sweetened, extra sweetened powdered sugar on there, like a cherry Kool-Aid mix.
So, what does the finished product taste like?
It tastes like a bread roll kind of ish, and it's really sweet.
There you go,
strawberry cake. That's what it tastes like, strawberry shortcake. Strawberry cake.
Most agree with me. It wasn't what I was envisioning.
I'm gonna run out of it. Yeah. I'm gonna have like Kool-Aid on the inside of the dough.
And also like me, everyone we talked with said the new treat could never replace our all-time favorites. In Raleigh, I'm Lindsay Hawkins, Carolina Week.
Well, don't worry, you still have time to try that fried Kool-Aid. The fair runs through October 23rd.
No, I was out there with Lindsay, and there are fried food everywhere. If you can name it, they can fry it.
I can't wait. I'm headed out there tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time for sure. Well, that does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching. Good night.